everybody? What is good, everybody? Iceman Prime here. Happy Sunday. Most importantly, happy Easter to everybody here in the chat. Oh man, I hope everybody is enjoying their Easter weekend so far and everything. Miss Kimmy, thank you for the lurk. Riddleboy, Nama, what is good, everybody? So, it's the moment you have all been waiting for. Episode 4 of my special talk show slash panel series, Chillin out. Let me undeafen here real quick. You guys know, you guys heard him on the commentary during the last streamer showdown. You guys can catch him streaming for Horizon Forbidden West and also playing with members of the Phoenix Nest. Y'all show your love for Mr. FenixxDown, Sir Phoenix. What is good, my man?
Hey, Ice, thanks for having me.
Of course, man. No problem at all, man. All right. So, Phoenix, why don't you go on ahead, introduce yourself to everybody here. Tell them what kind of games you stream, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Phoenix. I've been streaming for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in August, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, my group, typically I think you'll find us playing RPG games. That seems to be something that a lot of people enjoy, just getting to come in and, vibe, and, you don't really have to talk all that much. You can just kind of, sit back and relax and enjoy. So yeah, we've played everything from Witcher to Fall Guys to Overwatch to oh geez, where's some of the other ones we've done? Immortals Phoenix Rising was a big one that we had a lot of fun with. I do like kind of branching out every now and then and finding a game that not too terribly many people know about, and play those on stream. But like recently, we've of course been playing Forbidden West, so that's a big one that a lot of people know. But yeah, I got into streaming originally because when I was growing up, my dad actually, one of his favorite things to do was just hang out with me and watch me play through games. So we would, go get whatever the latest release game was and, just sit down and play through it at our own pace. And so we hadn't really had a chance to do that in, a few years, because obviously you grow up and get a job and all that fun stuff. And then I kind of started getting into Twitch a few months before the pandemic, but I thought, that might be a good outlet to be able to kind of relive some of those memories, is hop in and play that and just stream it, so he can chill in his chair at home and not have to get out and go anywhere, but still, watch me play through stuff. But of course, that plan changed drastically whenever, I met so many amazing people in so many different communities that all wanted to come hang out too. It has exceeded my expectations in every way as to, how amazing it's been, and getting to know, you and so many other people in our communities, and a lot of really great friends. So
yeah, definitely, man. I mean, it's a pleasure getting to know you and everything. I think when I first met you, I met you through another streamer. And I'm gonna ask if my mod could shout her out, Silverette. I think it's how I met you. I forgot what game you were playing at the time, but the one thing that stood out to me, was like, it almost felt like it, even though you've only started doing it, it almost felt like it felt like natural to you. Like it almost felt like, like you were a veteran at this. Like, did you have like kind of any similar experience before Twitch that kind of led to your your streaming and everything, like the way you speak with your audience and everything?
Honestly, no.
Really?
Yeah, I when I first started out, I mean, I watched quite a few streamers and, kind of paid attention to the different styles of, the way people stream and, how they communicate with their chat and things like that. And it did feel pretty natural to just be able to talk to people. It's obviously different when you're not having a voice chat with somebody, because you kind of, responses are delayed and things like that. But yeah, I mean, the people were the most important part from the get-go for me anyway. And so, I do enjoy having conversations with people, just in real life. And so to me, it just felt like, they were just kind of sitting there watching while I was gaming, and then we just have a conversation like we normally would if we were in the same room.
Yeah, definitely. Twitch kind of does, Twitch is like that. Like if you're not able to like. Like back in the day where like you and your friends would get together, get on the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and all that, play some Mario or some Ninja Turtles and all that kind of stuff. But Twitch is kind of like I guess like a way to like kind of relive those memories, especially with the pandemic and everything was all rampant and everything. So I definitely feel you on that. So let's get to know the man behind Sir Phoenix a little bit. So as you know, you live in Texas, right? So about
I do.
yeah. So as a fellow Texan, so what do you like and not like about living in Texas?
Yeah, I'll probably default to the one that everybody defaults to, which is the heat.
Man.
I am lucky to live in what they call the dry heat of Texas, but still, some days you walk outside and it feels like you just walked into an oven. So, but yeah, I originally grew up in Colorado, and so I came down here to actually go to school, to university. I went to the same one that my parents both graduated from. And it was weird because I had actually always kind of intended to go back to Colorado after I graduated because I was going to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And about halfway through my college career, my parents decided to move down here as well, just to be closer to their family, because most of their family lived in Texas at the time as well.
Uh-huh.
And so that changed things for me. Obviously, I didn't really feel like I could move as easily to another state without having at least a little bit of a support group around me. And so I stayed here, and honestly, it's not like where I live is not really all that attractive. There's not really any landmark pulls that I can speak of that people would be like, oh yeah, we need to go out there and see that. But I say this all the time about where I live. It feels like the biggest small town in the United States. There's probably like 300,000 people in my city, but it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like you're in a town of, maybe 5,000-10,000 at most. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the people. Everybody is, of course, you're always going to have people that are, tick you off and are not your favorite people to be around. But for the most part, if you don't know somebody, you're usually really cordial and friendly towards them. And so that was something that really made me want to stay, was just, getting to be with the people and stuff like that are here. So I like the people. And yeah, I'd say, yeah, probably the heat. The other thing I do miss about being in Colorado is the amount of places that you have to go, do things in the outdoors. You can do a few things here, but I really enjoyed like hiking mountains and going to visit like mountain lakes and stuff. And that's not really an option here, but I still have those options on vacation. So that's what I keep telling myself anyway.
Gotcha. That's what's up. You were saying that you mentioned hiking earlier. Is that something you did a lot when you were younger?
Yeah. I played basketball when I was in high school, and I I got the strength or the conditioning part of basketball, but not the huge muscles for actually working out. So I was in Colorado, like the air is a lot thinner, right? So I think where I lived, the base elevation was a little over 7,000 feet. And so the air's thin, so you have to, your lungs just get used to breathing thinner air. And especially with basketball conditioning, I mean, I could climb mountains, and it was like people were always climbing with me going, dude, how are you not like breathing super heavy and, dying? Like I'm over here, I can't breathe. And I'm like, man, like conditioning just makes this kind of a breeze. But yeah, I did enjoy that a lot. That was a lot of fun.
Man. So you really are the mountain man, and also the iron lung. Because if I was doing that right now, man, honestly, I'll be like the people that ask you, how the hell are you still breathing right now?
Yeah, It was funny.
Man.
I had a friend that joined the military, and he was trying to run. I forget. It was some crazy like, a really short minute mile. I think it was like a 4 or 5 minute mile. I mean, he was just all out sprinting the whole mile basically, and he just could not get it. I think he was like, he got it down to like 5:26 or something, but he just could not get below 5 minutes. And he reported to basic training, which was in South Carolina, and the first day that he ran like a 4 minute and 40-second mile, and it was just the air. Like he was just like, I could, like, my lung capacity was just so huge that I could just sprint forever, and it didn't feel like I needed to stop. So yeah, it makes a big difference, the altitude and the air, for sure.
Can you do that now?
He's a bit older now, so I don't know.
I was asking, can you do that now?
Oh no. I'm not built for sprinting. I'm built for long distance running.
Oh,
if anything.
man.
I'm not usually. I think that was the other thing I liked about hiking too, is I'm not usually somebody that likes to run just for the sake of running. I want to actually be, doing something that I feel like is productive while I'm exercising.
I got you.
So when you're hiking, you get the reward of, the views and getting to the top of a mountain and just being like, okay, yeah, that was worth the, amount of time and effort that I put into it. But yeah, no, I could have run cross country probably in high school, but I was just like, man, I think I'm just going to stick to basketball, because at least I'm doing something while I'm having to sprint down the court.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, man, you definitely gotta keep that cardio going.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Catch up with the chat here. Riddle Boy says father-son moments are always the best. Agreed. He is a cowboy. I guess Riddle Boy, we're both cowboys here. We're both from Texas. Hungriest Clone, what's good? Look at these professional MFs. Hey, what can we say, man? We like to look good on camera, right? My best time was a 10-minute, 20-second 2 mile. So that'd be about 5 minute, 10 seconds mile. That's really good.
That's moving. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when I was running, my fastest 1 mile was, I think 5 minutes 30 seconds.
Dang.
So, but that was back when I was like actively running. Of course, my knees are paying for it now, so I can't do that no more, sadly.
Yeah.
But Nami it says thanks for the shout out for Kimmy. J Main, what is good, my friend? Y'all show your love for J Main coming in. So excited for this podcast. Let's go. Minties, thank you for the follow. You are now a citizen of the Ice Cave. I know this is The Apprentice. Ice Man's looking so professional. Hey, I just got to, I had to go all out for this, Do it
Sets the tone.
Hungry Scone says that was my peak when I was probably 19, 20. Yeah, I was 20. I want to say about 25 when I reached that peak. But nowadays I can't do it. I can't. It's no matter like you could give me a 300 pound bench, and I could do that for days. But ask me to run a 1 mile ask me to run a 1.5 mile time in 10 minutes or less, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. It's just my ever since I messed up my knees, my cardio is just just took a nosedive and everything. So I cannot keep going at a high like I used to. But I started doing a HIIT, high interval intensity training, and that has helped my cardio a good bit.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. And
I feel like when we're younger, we feel like we're indestructible, so we can do anything. And then where our body starts going, yeah, no, you can't do that anymore.
That's me. That's me now. So.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. But all right. But let's get into let's kind of sort of get back into the Overwatch thing. So, Phoenix, I'm sure some people, I'm sure you've heard this from a lot of people, but you're hearing it from me. You probably heard this from me a lot of times, and you're gonna hear it from me again, bro. Are you sure you have no commentating experience? Because the way you commentated that last streamer showdown, it almost felt like we were in the actual Overwatch league. The way you commentated that.
Well, thank you. That's a big compliment. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I haven't ever done any of that before. I obviously watched Overwatch League quite a bit when it first came out. I kind of took a break there for a little while, but so some of that I tried to sort of imitate what I'd seen, them do on those channels before. I honestly will tell you that I surprised myself a little bit because I didn't know I could talk that fast, but it was actually legible and like people could understand. So that was kind of cool to, know that I could do something like that. But yeah, I mean, the first time I ever heard somebody say that you have a voice for radio, I was actually working, and you live here in Texas, so you've probably heard of Main Event before.
Yep.
So I worked there at the one here when it first opened, and one of the things we had to do was if there was a laser tag game that was about to go, you would get on the intercom in the building and say, hey, this game is about to go. Well, the way I did it, I had like every time I did it, there would be 2 or 3 people that would walk up to the desk that were about to jump into the game that was like, hey, do you do radio stuff perchance? Because it sounds like you have a radio voice whenever you're on here. And so I guess maybe there's just some natural voice inflection and the way I say things that maybe is just kind of a natural thing there. But yeah, I had never, maybe I should have gone back and, done radio production stuff, but yeah, when the Overwatch opportunity came up, my team had a couple members that couldn't make it, and I did feel a little bad because everybody jumped, right away to say, hey, we can step in and sub in for those two. We want you to be able to play. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, I think it'd be really fun to actually just watch and call these and, see if I can, get a taste of what that's like. And yeah, everybody really enjoyed it, which was awesome. So
yeah, I mean, you did I mean, the chat agrees, and I can speak for the chat and say you did a really wonderful job with that, and everything. I mean, I know the circumstances. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry about that led to it, but hey, man, it was kind of like a blessing in disguise, if you know what I mean. So, but
yeah, silver lining.
Yeah, the silver lining, definitely. Yeah, J-Main says, Phoenix, you did so good, and you commentating on my matches made me so happy. And Hunger's Clone can confirm, super great. I hope it sounds just as good with my joint commentary. Oh, so Hunger's Clone and Phoenix are gonna commentate this one? The next one? Oh.
Yeah, I think Hungry wanted to jump in and try it as well. So yeah, I think we'll have a couple of dual casting there going for a bit.
Oh, so it's
fun.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. Twice professionalism. I like it. So just to let everybody know, if you guys have questions for Phoenix, you can let us know in the chat. He'll answer your questions in the chat and everything. We're trying to get to all of them in the time allotted. So, but yeah. So the only next question I had, Phoenix. How long have you been playing Overwatch for? And did you always play on? Have you always played Overwatch on PC?
Yeah, good question. I haven't always played on PC. I started on Xbox actually, and I remember I bought the game when it first came out, and I played for I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 months. I never did set foot in competitive when I first played it, just because I kind of didn't know it was a thing, I guess, and so I just kind of always went in and jumped in a random match. Occasionally there'd be somebody that I knew that was like, oh, you play Overwatch too? Let's play a match sometime or whatever. So I waited a while, and then there was a larger group of friends that I had that all started playing Overwatch without me knowing, and they just randomly asked me because we'd played a few other games together, hey, do you have Overwatch? And I was like, I think I still have that around here somewhere. And so then we jumped to competitive, and that was kind of an eye-opening experience. But I found out pretty quick that support is definitely something that comes natural to me. I'm always wanting to pay attention and make sure that everybody's good to go. I've never been the guy that can pull tricks out of his hat and get ridiculous ult kills with DPS or whatever. So at that point, I played Mercy, and that was actually back when she still had her huge res ability, so she could res all 6 people on a team at the same time. And I remember when I first did that, my whole team was like, that has never happened to us before. Like, no Mercy has been able to get in a position where they can do that, and everybody was super excited. So that kind of got me hooked on playing Mercy and those support roles. So yeah, after that, I mean, I kind of did fall off a little bit once some of those members of the team moved away. But when I built my first PC, my first gaming PC, that was actually one of the first games that I grabbed, because it's one of the few that you don't really have to play it at a higher resolution than like 1080p 60 frames,
right?
Which is what I built my first PC to be able to do. And so I thought, well, if this one I know for sure that's going to happen, then yeah, let's play some of that. And by that time, they'd released several more characters since then, and yeah, so I've played off and on ever since.
Ah, interesting. So yeah, so I'm kind of in a similar boat as you. So I bought Overwatch a week actually after it came out, and I actually bought it on a whim because, as you guys know, first-person shooters are not really my thing, but the game looked different. I don't know, something about the game. I was like, okay, let me check this out. So I got it on I was on PlayStation, and I got it. And when it first came out, I played it. And I just jumped into like a random match, not knowing what I was doing and everything. But despite all that, I was having some fun with it. And then some of my PSN friends, they were playing the game, and so I got to play with them for a while. And then after they dropped off, the competitive season started. So during my first competitive season, I started, playing with some people, and I was like I started playing. I started playing Soldier at the beginning. I mean, like most people, I started playing Soldier at the beginning of the game, because he was like, okay. They were telling me you should start with Soldier. He was like he's like your basic, Call of Duty, kill, automatic kill kind of thing. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. All right. So then over time, I kind of realized that the run and gun thing wasn't my thing, and so I saw I saw Pharaoh. There was a character who literally shoots rockets at people, and she flies in the air. And I'm like, okay, this is my kind of character, because this is someone where I could just fly in the air, fire rockets at people, disrupt them, mess them up a bit, annoy them, and so I pretty much played Pharaoh like throughout. And I made it to high plat, like mid to high plat in the 28th season, I believe. And then after that, I stopped playing, because around that point, everybody had moved on to Fortnite and those kind of games, and I wasn't into Fortnite. So I'm like, okay, I've done what I could. Maybe I should just I should just stop playing. I'll just retire from and everything. Then Twitch happened.
Yeah.
Then the pandemic, and then Twitch happened, and then I met you guys, Sylv, and everyone was playing Overwatch on PC, and so like you, that led me to build my first PC, and my PC is meant for is meant for 1080p, 60 FPS, all that stuff. Yeah. It can't do 4K a little bit, but I don't want to like stress my GPU with that. So
right.
And then after I met you guys, I was like, you know what? let me hop back on the game a bit, you know, and I had fun playing Overwatch again. Then of course, you know, the allegations with Blizzard and everything happened, and so I again stopped playing it because, you know, I didn't like, you know, what Blizzard was doing behind the scenes. And don't get me wrong, I still don't. But then I just got back into Overwatch again because you know, I thought to myself, you know, yeah, what Blizzard did is wrong, but why should I, like for the sake of like playing with my friends and everything, why should I stop playing for a mistake that some inconsiderate idiots made, not the company as a whole. So that's what led me back to playing Overwatch today with you guys and everything. And also I have a great time, you know, playing with you. I have a lot of fun playing with you guys. And you know, when you guys invited me to your you guys invited me to y'all streamer showdown. I mean, to be honest, I almost turned it down, but then, you know, I was thinking I could still have a good time because, you know, I'll be playing with some. I mean, you guys extended the invitation to me. I have a lot of fun playing with you guys. You guys enjoyed my company, so I was like, you know what? I'm just at the end of the day, I'm just here to have fun. So I'm like, so let's do it. So
yeah,
and then
yeah. I think, you know, one of the things that's been the most interesting about Overwatch is, so, you know, Nama, of course, was the first one that I saw playing it on stream. He would play it occasionally, you know, on some of his night streams back, you know, in the middle of the pandemic. And, you know, I thought for a while there, my Saturdays on my stream were, you know, kind of reserved for more community focused games. And so one day I thought, you know, let's just throw Overwatch out there and, you know, see how many people, you know, if anybody wants to jump in. And pretty much without fail, I would have a full stack every time. And to be honest, the coolest thing was seeing people come into chat when we were playing Overwatch and saying, "Oh man, I haven't played Overwatch in years." I mean, there's just so many people that either played or play the game that are blowing the dust off of their, you know, their versions and reinstalling, because, you know, Overwatch is one of those games that it's a people game, right? I never or hardly ever jump in and play Overwatch on my own because it's way less fun than it is, you know, at least playing with one other person, if not, you know, a full team. And nowadays, of course, we have, you know, enough people to usually play 6v6 customs, and so that's kind of fun because you can mix it up, and, you know, everybody's going to have a different team comp every time because you got people that are better at, you know, certain things than others. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool to find a game like Overwatch that can bring so many different kinds of people together. And I'm kind of with you. Whenever the Blizzard stuff started coming out, I was thinking, well, I probably shouldn't play that one anymore on Saturdays, just because, yeah, I don't want to really show support for people like that. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know, if I don't play it, it's also punishing the people that are good people there that were on the development team that, you know, may still be there on the development team. And those are the people that I want to show, you know, support for and say, hey, you know, I appreciate the work that you've put into this and have done so even as a good person. And then, you know, also just watching some of the extra stuff that they've come out with, you know, the cinematic shorts that they've put together and stuff like that. It kind of, for a game that doesn't have, you know, really any story focused stuff in the actual game, I've really grown to love some of those characters to the point that, you know, it's like you can't stay away. You just want to come back and hang out with them and play. So
oh yeah, most definitely. Speaking of story, have you heard about the new character for Overwatch 2?
Yeah, Sojourn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw her. I actually got to see her trailer yesterday, and I believe she's a DP. She's a DPS, correct? If I recall.
Yeah, which surprised me because I thought she was actually supposed to be a support. But...
Yeah, that's what I heard at first.
Mhm.
But she's a DPS, and
Yeah.
and her kit is interesting. I think she's also the first character that can dash, slide, and shoot. I believe, if I remember correctly from the trailer. But
Yeah.
she looks like she's gonna be pretty powerful in the right hands. I would also say she's probably gonna be OP, honestly.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Overwatch 2 goes because it's going to completely shift the way we've played pretty much every character in the game because they're all going to be, tweaked in a certain way to work in the new 5v5 comp. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's also really hard as a game developer to come up with unique abilities for heroes. Something that doesn't already copy either another hero that already is in the game or from another game or whatever the case is. So yeah, I think her dash jump thing was kind of maybe a little bit of a combination, but I think when they create characters too, they're all about, how is this character going to work with this team, or how is this character going to work with or synergize with this team and stuff like that, which also kind of getting back to the casting a little bit is also a lot of fun too, because I've played the game enough to know, how players work together and seeing kind of the comps that Overwatch comes up with. So that's part of the fun for me of that too, is it's kind of a game of chess where, you're trying to, okay, well, if you're doing this, then I'm going to go this character, or we're going to play this way so that we can counter your team. And I feel like Overwatch 2 is going to shift that even more. To say, okay, how do we work together as a team to change this?
Yeah. By the way, Nama, thank you for the gift sub to Phoenix. Miss Angel is in the chat. What is good? Y'all show your love for Miss Angel. Yes, Angel, that is a Phoenix. That is a Phoenix in the chat. Not J-Man KP was like, Nama is doing a tourney. Oh yeah. It's great, you know how Nama and Phoenix are able to bring everybody from different communities together, and it's kind of great, how Overwatch kind of brought a lot of us together. It's like we're like one big old giant Overwatch family, and I'm here for it. So let's see. So did you sign up for the Overwatch 2 beta, Phoenix?
I did. Yeah, I haven't heard
too.
anything yet. So hopefully it'll come out pretty soon, because I think it's, what are we, 10 days out now, or 9 days out?
9 days out on the 26th.
Yeah. So hopefully we all get an invite. That would be great.
Yeah. You didn't get an invite?
Well, I went ahead and joined up, but I haven't gotten any emails or anything yet. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just waiting on them to send. I'm assuming they're gonna send keys out or whatever the case may be. But...
Hey, we got Tribor in the chat. What's good, Tribor? How you doing, my friend? Y'all show your love for Tribor. The new hero isn't Doomfist though. Yeah.
Hey, so Tri-mains.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Speaking of Doomfist, so it's been confirmed they made Doomfist into a tank in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense, kind of, sort of, but it's like at the same time, it's like, why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like part of the shift in Overwatch 2 is going to be, you still have all the same characters that you have from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like they're trying to, especially with dropping it down to where you just have one tank.
Yeah.
We're kind of they're trying to shift everybody away from just hide behind your tank and then, sort of disperse and try to catch people off as best you can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like making somebody like Doomfist a tank really takes the dive meta to a whole nother level, because, if your tank is somebody who is designed to dive in and disrupt as much as possible, then you're going to want to play people that can capitalize on that disruption. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm also interested to see how many people try Overwatch 2 and go, nah, I'm just going to stick to Overwatch 1. I don't like it.
Right. Riddle boy here trolling with the sounds here. To make him a tank, yes. You know that's going to happen. Hungriest clone, I know. I'm the one who put it on my channel, so I know. Tribor, I know. Yeah, Doomfist is going to be a tank. And the shift to 5 to the the 5v5, one tank, 2 support, 2 DPSs, I think is going to change the game quite a bit actually. And then sorry, go ahead, Phoenix.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I never got a chance to jump in and do it, but there was an experimental card in Overwatch not that long ago that made some really goofy changes to tanks. And like, for instance, I think one of Roadhog's changes was that when he did his jar to heal, it would like actually heal people that were close enough to him as well.
What?
So I think honestly that experimental card, probably those changes won't go live, but I think they were kind of experimenting with, okay, how can we make these tanks, worth it enough to just be the only tank? Because I feel like if you don't have, a second tank, there's going to have to be some changes that are made, to keep you alive and make your abilities viable enough that you can, carry the whole team as one tank.
Yeah. It's like now, it's like with the shift, you now have to, now your tanks can't provide as much space, and now you kind of have to fend for yourself a lot more. So now you now have to kind of pick and choose your 1v1. You have to kind of pick and choose your battles a lot more with the Overwatch 2 now. It now seems to be like, I'm kind of want to say Overwatch 2 is going to be a lot more aggressive in terms of like how how games are going to go and everything, to keep maybe a bit more fast paced.
Yeah.
Redderboard says a tank. Yes, Doomfist would be a tank. Would he get extra armor as a tank then? Right now I don't know. They haven't said anything else about Doomfist other than he is gonna be a tank. So I would assume he will probably have more health. That's for sure. But other than that, I don't know much. We don't know much else because they haven't said anything about that yet. So. Overwatch 2 is just Paladins reskinned. You wanna know something? I have never played Paladins before. Have you played Paladins, Phoenix?
I haven't. No, I've heard things about it.
Yeah, same. I mean, Doom's pretty much a tank at the moment, so I guess it'll be cool. Makes sense. It does make sense.
Yeah.
Hey! Sorry.
The one thing that might be fun with Overwatch is a couple of the new modes. Like, I think the new push mode is kind of an interesting sort of mix to throw in there, where you're trying to make the robot go the other direction. So hopefully Overwatch 2 gives us an opportunity to play things that are, different from Overwatch 1. If we're just gonna play like, normal assault or control or whatever, we may want to go back and just play Overwatch 1. But if we're looking for some of that new stuff, we can maybe switch over and play some Overwatch 2.
Right. Bull, my good friend Bull is in the chat. Y'all show Bull some love. Oh, I did not. There we go. I guess that means Ryan will have a gun. I just imagine playing support in Overwatch 2 is going to be brutal.
Can you imagine if he had like a gun on the front of his shield?
Right.
Shoot while you're walking.
He'd be like, here, here's my shoe.
Yeah. I think in a really early iteration of Overwatch, I think Bastion was actually supposed to have a shield. So like when he was in his turret mode, it wasn't like it didn't have a whole lot of HP, but it would kind of be like Briggs' shield, I guess, where he would have it pop up and then he'd be able to, shoot with the Gatling gun while having a little bit of protection in front of him too. But I think they decided that was going to be a little too OP for him.
That would be way too OP for him.
Yeah.
Vanadar just popped in the chat. Says hello. What's good, How you doing? Show the love for Vanadar.
I's birthday today.
Oh yeah. Yes, people. Today is I's birthday. I turned the big 19 today. So y'all in the chat, wish Vanadar a happy birthday. We all love him around here. So, are you looking? Are you looking forward to Overwatch 2, Phoenix?
Yeah, I really do hope I get into the beta because I would like to, kind of see what it's going to be like. Honestly, I kind of hope it's one of those games that's only 40 instead of 60 because I feel like having played Overwatch 1 for as long as we have, I don't know that there would be enough changes to make it worth like a full game purchase. But I would like to dip in a little bit to because they are kind of bringing in a story mode into Overwatch 2. It seems like where you actually have missions you can go on and stuff like that. So that kind of stuff would be really fun to go do. But yeah, I hope I get into beta because I really want to see what we can expect. But yeah, I think I'll probably end up getting it just out of curiosity more than anything else.
Understand. Got you. So it's interesting. It's interesting that your name is FenixxDown. I think since if I understand this now, if I understand this correctly, I did some research. I think it's a play on an item from Final Fantasy that revives a down teammate. Now, I haven't played Final Fantasy, but this is a similar game that I've played. Some of you in chat may have heard of it, called Bravely Default, and has a similarly named item that does the exact same thing. So, Phoenix, is that where your name came from, or is there more to the origin of FenixxDown?
Yeah, no, that's where the basic name came from. I played one of my favorite games, probably top 3 for me, is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Growing up, like the Game Boy was something that I could take with me to friends' houses and stuff, so it was actually one of my favorite consoles. But I played so many hours on that game, and of course, one of the things that I relied on a lot was a FenixxDown, because there were actually some levels in that game where normally if your character went down, they were just knocked out and you'd have to heal them up again before they could go in the next fight. But there were a few places where if your team went down, they were gone forever. And so I was like, well, shoot, I don't want to lose, these characters that I've invested a ton of time into. So I brought a bunch of those along with me to make sure that, if somebody went down, I could bring them back. So yeah, that was where it came from. And then of course, when I tried to go in and take that name on, at the time, it was my first name on Xbox Live. Somebody had already taken it. So I was like, well, of course. So I kind of had to get creative with the spelling of it. So the last part, or the first part, the way it's spelled, was actually because at the time, Gears of War was a big game, and I had just played through, I think it was 1 and 2 at that point. And the main character in that is Marcus Phoenix, and the way he spells his last name is Fenix. So I was like, well, maybe we switch it up and do that spelling. And of course, just Phoenix with 1 X was taken, so I had to do 2 X's. And I honestly, I've kind of enjoyed the fact that I had to make that many tweaks to it, because it is kind of a fun story to talk about where it came from. But yeah, that's the origin of the FenixxDown name.
Well, guys, this is the first time I think anyone has heard of it. It's the first time I've heard of that. But yeah, that's very interesting. I actually like that. So, I'm guessing you were a heavy Gears player back in the day.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one just for the co-op feature. Because back then, like you said before, when we were talking earlier about how we loved going over to friends' houses and just hanging out and gaming. So anything that was co-op or that we could pull, 3 or 4 people into, we kind of gravitated towards those games. So yeah, Gears was a big one, and then of course Halo was another big one too back then. I'm not as big of a Halo player now, but when we only had the option really of going over to people's houses to play on their consoles, those were the kind of games that were a lot of fun. So.
Oh man, I remember I used to, so little known fact, I used to own an Xbox 360 back in the day. There was a day where everyone was shitting on the PS3 because it was so expensive. it had no games, and Xbox 360 had all the games. And yeah, I jumped on that bandwagon. I played the Xbox 360, and I did play the first Gears of War a lot. I also played I did play a little bit of Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2. Back in the day and everything. But Yeah, the only but Bull, you brought up a good point. It had no JRPGs, which was, of course, you know, being micro, being Xbox back in the day. They were so focused on their Western titles and the first person shooters and everything that since Microsoft was more so Western focused that not a lot of like companies, like your Square Enix, your Atlas, and those kind of companies kind of shied away from that and gifted or geared more towards the PlayStation and everything. Mm-hmm. So, let me catch up with the chat here real quick. I kind of miss Gears. I kind of do too, honestly. So I'm right there with you. Good game, Final Fantasy Tactics. Like I said, I actually I have to check that out one of these days. I have never played a Final Fantasy game, as surprising as that sounds. Very interesting name, Phoenix, J Main says. Oh, Nama has a question for the both of us. If you could remove any one Overwatch hero in the game, which would it be and why? Phoenix, do you want to start?
Oh man, yeah. I know what a lot of people's would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really tough question. The only reason I would say it's a really close call between a couple of them. Widowmaker is actually one that I would probably like to see not in the game, but the only reason I would want to see her not in the game is if they could bring in another character to replace her. The only thing about Widow that I don't really care for, and the reason I don't know if she belongs in the game, is just she doesn't really bring anything unique to the table. I feel like her character is really, like, her abilities are really basic.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like, so to be honest with you, Soldier is actually the other one that I could think of that I would say, as far as Overwatch goes, I don't know that he makes the most sense to be in the game, because I feel like they are good characters, because both of them, give people who are just traditional FPS players, like, that are coming from COD or, Battlefield or whatever, give them kind of an entry point. But there's just so many other characters in the game that have unique abilities, and I feel like both of them, it's kind of like, oh cool, you can snipe and see through walls, okay, that's cool. But
right,
that's just me. Those would be, I'd say probably Widow would be mine.
Yeah, you actually said the character that I was gonna mention, Soldier. I mean, he's pretty much like a typical, run and gun. Okay, shoot. Okay, he can heal people a little bit. And then tech visor, auto aim. Shoot. I mean, like, okay, that's cool and all, but there are so many characters that are more unique that can do a lot of things he can do, but better. So I just think, like, Soldier is kind of like a wasted spot in Overwatch, in my opinion. But I will also this is gonna sound kind of crazy. This is gonna sound weird, but from a comparative standpoint, I could also see why Pharaoh should be removed. I know this is kind of weird coming from someone who's a Pharaoh main, but I just feel like Pharaoh, just because she shoots rockets and all, but the problem is, like, literally, like, anybody and their mother can shoot her down. You don't really even need a hit scan to really take her down. All you have to do is, if you put even the littlest bit of pressure on her, and she cracks. So, but if they could like you said, but if they could replace her with another character, honestly, I would be cool with that. But for me, I would say remove Soldier. Though I do understand his backstory. He has a good backstory, but from a gameplay perspective, it's like been there, done that. I mean,
Yeah, and with Overwatch, it's funny too because it's like, okay, there's a character that I would want removed, sort of overall in the game. But every season, every meta, there's always that one character that everybody is like, get rid of. This character does not need to be in the game anymore. Get rid of them because they are just too strong. Like Roadhog would be one for me right now. I'd be like, dude, get rid of Roadhog. I'm sick to death of that guy's hook. Yada yada. But I mean, I think that's the thing too, that at least in the past has been something that Blizzard has. It may take them longer than we would like, but at least they've come in and tried to sort of shake up the metas and switch up, the way abilities are and nerf some things here and there to, make things better. I remember one of my favorite characters to play was Brig back in what they called the GOATS comp, where Brig was like by far one of the most annoying characters to play against because she just never died. If she got in the middle of your team, it was just like, there's no way to kill this support. This is so aggravating. And it's really fun if you're the one playing that character, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's like, oh, sweet, I feel unstoppable. But yeah, it's just funny to see like how many different people have been like, okay, this character needs to go. You gotta go.
There actually was a time where Brig was like stupidly overpowered, and when she first came out, because I played her when she first came out, and actually there's actually a video of it on my YouTube channel if y'all want to look that I posted. Well, I got a player of the game as a brigade, and I literally killed 2/3 of her team using just her. So for those that don't know, so Brigitte back in the day, her shield had I think like 500 health if I remember. I could be wrong on that. 500 somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. And at the time, her shield could even go through she could even go through barriers at the time. I don't know if that's always been there, but there was a time where it could go through people's barriers and stuff. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, when she threw her the thing that gives you health, back like when she first came out, if the person she threw to had full health, it will also give them temporary shields. Yeah. And that's what made her so overpowered. And on top of that, you didn't even have to aim. You just have to like flay your thing around, and she has a passive where if she does damage, she and everyone that's around her gets health back. Right. So if you combine all that together, she was like literally like broken. And, And there was one time I went a whole week playing nothing but brigade. So, and competitive. And I played about, I want to say, around the neighborhood of 20 or so games that week. I only lost 3.
Yeah.
Just playing brigade.
Well, and, I think in the beginning you didn't have it, but when Overwatch League started being a thing, obviously those guys are, elite level players. I mean, they make any character look like, how do you do that? But when you have a character that comes into the game that completely shifts like the way team comps are set up, even for those guys, it's, the character is like, okay, we need to dial this back a notch. Because I remember, back when GOATS was a thing, in GOATS comp, you had 3 tanks. So you usually had like Orisa, Reinhardt, and then Zarya would actually act like a DPS. Like she was there to dish damage. And then you have 3 supports. And it's because Brig was essentially another tank. Like she was another mini tank. And so, yeah, just having, I've played games like that before where it could be a character, it could be a gun that gets into the game, whatever the case, so they introduce things in and you're like, okay, I know this was supposed to be fun, but this is a little much.
A little much, right.
But it doesn't mean it's not fun while it lasts, You can remember the good times of when we could take on an entire team as Brig.
Right. Catching up with the chat. Mint says there are times we want to hear removed because they can be annoying. Facts.
Yeah.
Bull. By the way, Bull, thank you for the lurk. I know you went to go get some food. I saw in the chat earlier. I just miss co-op games. I feel like it's either party games like Jackbox, Mario Kart, or competitive games like Overwatch. There's not too many co-op games for me, at least. I have noticed. I have noticed that a bit. I have noticed, a lot of the co-op. I mean, there have been very few, like co-op games that are not party or shooter based. But then you do have games like Borderlands and and the recent Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that are like, you know, looter shooters. I mean, it's still like, you know, like Overwatch a bit, but it's not like competitive, you know. It's like you're getting you and your friends are trying to get like the best loot possible, taking on some and all that. So, but yeah, I get you. But boy, you make a very good point. I would remove Wrecking Ball because his face is so annoying. J Main says, I don't want to look at him. And and Sombra just because she's annoying. Okay. Okay. Let me get some water.
Yeah, so if you come across a good Sombra, it is a very disheartening match for sure. Matter of fact, I think at the end of the last Overwatch League season, just for the big hack potential, I'm pretty sure the two teams, at least that were in the finals, were playing Sombra in their lineups every time. Just because they wanted to be able to like hack somebody and then tell the whole team, hey, let's go pounce on this person that I hacked, and it worked. I mean, like, you jump that person and it's like, oh, okay, well, nothing I can do now because I can't get out. I can't, heal myself or whatever. So.
Yeah, like if Sombra hacks, let's say a Run or an Orisa, and that's the only shield tank, you have no shield basically. So you're forced to you're basically forced to rely on your supports to keep you alive, and while at the same time, let's say you have your DPSs hitting your back line and you have no shield. You're pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
I thank you for the alert. Hey, Rebecca MC, what is good, my friend? Y'all show your love for Rebecca MC coming in. Rebecca, how you doing today? Happy Easter to you. And also, Rebecca MC is like me and Phoenix is a fellow Texan herself. All
right.
If y'all haven't followed her, go leave her a follow. She streams on. She's a YouTube content creator primarily, but does stream on Twitch every once in a while. So if y'all haven't followed Rebecca MC, who I just met yesterday, actually, go leave her a follow. Very entertaining. Very entertaining content creator, amazing person. Rebecca, is so good to see you here today. J Man says, "True Iceman. This is some good insight. Thank you. Again, Sir Phoenix, thank you for being here on this Easter Sunday. Again, if you guys have any questions for Phoenix or for us, Matt, for either of us, let us know. And let us know in the chat. We got about 15 minutes left here, so thank you for the shout out. I appreciate it. Oh, Rebecca, of course, anytime. Phoenix. Ritter Boy asks, Phoenix, do you play Mario Kart? Ice needs a treat.
Oh no, the trash talk. I do play Mario Kart. I'm pretty average at it, but yeah, I have a good time. We jumped in and played a little bit yesterday, actually. That was the first time I played in a couple months, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Riddle Boy, are you? Let's move on. All right, Nama has a question for both of us. Is there one Twitch streamer you recommend, and who has been an impact to you? Ooh, that's a very good question.
Well, he asked the question, but he is also the answer. That would be Nama. I don't know if I've ever seen someone be as supportive as Nama is, even if it's just a little bit, to as many streamers as he does. I mean, the man is literally... everybody knows him. Everybody likes him, loves him. He's just somebody who genuinely cares about people, and it just shows in his actions. And so, obviously all of you have seen that come to fruition with the Overwatch, tournament. He just wanted to bring all the friends who play together in one place to, have some fun and be able to do that. But if you're on his streams, he's up pretty late, but anytime he's playing something that he can have more people in there, he always has the invitation and the door open to come play with them. And yeah, there's just a lot that that kind of inspires you to be a better both a better streamer and also a better just member of streamer communities, you know, in the way that you support them. And I think he embodies the fact that you don't always have to be in someone's chat, you know, talking constantly to be a support to them. Just popping by, saying hello, letting them know you're there, and you're lurking is, you know, more than enough to make people feel better about, you know, who they are as a streamer and how their streams are going. So yeah, go follow Nama if you
Definitely.
don't already follow him.
Yeah, definitely. Everything he just said, I agree with. By the way, Kimmy, thank you for that raid. Thank you for trusting me with your community. Everyone from Kimmy Stream, welcome. Welcome to this episode of Chillin' Out. I'm Iceman Prime. I am a mainly JRPG streamer, but I also do other types of streams, as you guys are seeing right now. Nami asked a question for both of us: the one Twitch streamer you recommend and who has been an impact to you. And Phoenix said Mr. Nama himself. For me, man, that's a tough one because there's so many that have impacted, that have like had a profound impact to me. But if I have to mention one, and I know she is either lurking or is not able to make the chat or make this stream. If there's one that I could mention that has made a profound impact on me, it would be Silver Red. And it's because, you know, Silver Red, like, whenever you come into her streams, she welcomes you with literally welcomes you with open arms. And like, that's something you don't see with a lot of streamers. Like Silver Red, like she really, like when she does her streams and everything, it's almost like you're like the vibes and everything. You're like a part of, it's almost like you're like a part of her family. It's like you're literally like right there, with her, playing, whenever you're playing Overwatch or like whenever you're sitting watching her streams. It's almost like you're actually there and everything. And she's just so nice to everybody. Oh, it's it's just almost like it's like having a motherly figure, motherly figure there. In her, like when you're in her streams and everything, she just makes you feel so welcome and so wholesome and everything. And and she is like what I would, what kind of sort of like what I would want to be as a community leader, just to make everybody smile, feel happy, if I'm having a really rough day and everything, come by your stream and make everybody feel better. And that's what Sylv does. And that's why, honestly, like she probably has made one of the biggest impacts. When she streams, like she really inspires me, and I'm pretty sure if she were here, she would probably say the same about a lot of others here. And so, if you're watching this again, thank you for what you do. I think I speak for everybody in saying that we all love you, and we appreciate what you do for the community. For your community, bringing all of us together. So much love and respect. Didn't mean to get all sentimental there, but I'm literally speaking. I'm speaking from the heart.
Absolutely.
And I'll give her a shout out really quickly. If you guys haven't followed Silverette, y'all go leave her a well-deserved follow. I think I spelled that correctly. There we go. Yo, Soupy, what's good, my friend? Well, it's good, Soupy. How you doing? I just saw you popped up in the chat there. I hope you're having a wonderful Easter Sunday. Let's see. Rebecca MC asked, Either of you create content other than streaming? And if so, what is it and why do you decide to do that content?
Good question.
Do you want me to go first, Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
So, Rebecca, yes, I do. So occasionally I'll do some I have a channel point redemption for cooking. Cause so I'll like cook a dish I'll cook a dish that that the community or whoever redeems the point chooses, and I do it because I love to cook. I do cooking as like a hobby and everything, and you know I want to like you know also as a way to like to get people to know me a little bit better outside of streaming and everything. So I'll like you know cook a dish like you know kind of like also Phoenix. I know you do this a little bit. You do this too occasionally where you do have like a cooking stream where you know you cook a dish that someone chooses and you do that for the stream. And so yeah, I enjoy cooking, and so I want to like show my love for cooking to everybody in the community. I also there will be occasional. I also am a fitness person. I also enjoy fitness. So occasionally you'll see me. I'll do some streams where you'll see me working out. Like I'll do some like you know some workouts that some I create myself. Some I get bits and pieces from like other workout routines that I see on YouTube or I look up on the internet and stuff. And so, I'm a big like I'm kind of like a big fitness junkie. So you'll occasionally see me do that. And you know, again, it's like I want to show my love of like my other hobbies to other streamers, you know, and to people of my community. So that's basically like the kind of content I create outside of gaming, of course.
Yeah, for me, I tried to get some content creation off the ground outside. I actually signed up to do audiobook narration. Unfortunately, that's been a little more choppy than I expected it to be. A lot of there's actually a site that's hosted by Amazon that you can go sign up to be one of those narrators, and a lot of the authors that are out there are not big published authors. They're either they've just published their first book or they're you know really kind of novices as far as authors go, and they're kind of not the easiest to work with when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I tried to get into that a little bit. It didn't really work out. But the only other thing that I've thought about doing that's kind of similar to what I do on Twitch anyway, but it would be on YouTube, would be doing some Let's Plays. Just something that I could, you know, switch over, play a game, and not necessarily have to interact with a chat, but it could be something that if people are bored and want to, you know, see a game, you know, if they're thinking about getting it, if they want to see some of the gameplay to decide whether or not they want to get that game, it would just be something that I could, you know, kind of narrate and play along. So those are the types of things outside of Twitch that I'm kind of interested in getting into.
Nice. Honestly, Phoenix, the audiobook thing, I think with your voice, I think you'll be really good at that. I mean, you have that anime narrator voice that I think you could personally would pull that off. But yeah, man, honestly I'm surprised it didn't work out. But I guess you know, there's a lot of hurdles. I guess you kind of have to jump through with that and everything. So I feel that.
Yeah, I feel like one thing you do have to have a little bit of is kind of a, you know, you don't have to have a full-blown recording studio, but it definitely helps to have a room that's isolated, that's kind of soundproofed, because you don't really realize it as much when you're streaming, but when you're doing an audiobook recording, you pick up a lot of the ambient noise around you. So like I was not expecting to hear it, but I was recording and a plane flew overhead and I could actually hear it on my recording. Like I was not expecting my mic to be sensitive enough to pick that up, but it did. So there's a few things you kind of have to, be ready for when you do that. So I don't think the door is completely closed on it. I think it could be something that I would still be willing to go do. It would just I'd have to tweak things a little bit with my setup and some stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
J-Main has a question for you.
Okay.
Do you have information or notes on players in the Overwatch tourney so you can point out stuff like surprising switches and stuff like that? And before he answers, I know I'm behind on the chat right now, but we'll try and catch up to everyone's questions as quickly as possible. So
yeah, it's a good question. Actually, yes. I don't have super detailed notes, but I have paid attention to enough to know kind of who plays what, who sort of specializes in which role. Mostly, I was kind of telling Iceman this before we started the podcast today. One of the things that I wanted to improve on as far as casting for this next tournament is the camera and the sort of the game awareness. Because one of the things, I paid attention a lot to Overwatch League to get an idea of what those guys are looking for when they're casting. How do they approach the dialogue and things like that. And one of the things is you do have to have game sense enough to see when either a DPS or a tank ultimate comes online, so that you can potentially pan the camera to that person or snap to that person's game view, so that you have as many chances as possible to see those huge team wipes or a really good play off of an ultimate. So yeah, I have been taking notes and sort of looking at the way teams are laid out and who plays what role, so that I can if somebody makes a big change, or even if somebody who I've seen play one character several times, if they switch, you kind of get an idea of what the team is looking to do, if you know how those Overwatch team comps work. So that is something I'm looking forward to the most going into this next one, because I know everybody's been practicing. I know everybody's been if one person came into the last tournament and they were kind of only able to play one character, or really only fill one role, they've experimented, they've reached out, branched out a little bit, played a different role, or found another character that they synergize with their team really well by playing that character. So I'm excited to see how the teams work together and make that work. But good question.
All right. We have a new follower. Thank you for that follow. You are now a resident of the Ice Cave. You guys know I have anonymous followers, so that people can feel so people aren't pressured to speak in the chat. I give Ice so much love through jump scares. Little boy, hey man, much love, my man, much love. Kibby agrees with what I said about Sylv earlier. Tribor has a question for Phoenix. Okay, if you could pick between Gwent or Gwent, would you Gwent?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a Witcher thing.
Yeah. So when we played through The Witcher, one of my favorite things to do in the game was actually there's a sort of mini game hidden in the main game called Gwent. It's a card game, and one of the things you can do is go around and play NPCs in the game, and if you beat them at the game, you get their best cards. So it kind of became a running joke that I would spend like entire streams just running around playing Gwent the whole time. So they affectionately changed the name of the game to the Gwentcher, not the Witcher. And so yeah, it's kind of become an inside joke amongst the community that Phoenix really loves Gwent. So
got you. Well, Tribor, I hope Phoenix has answered your question there.
Yes, I would Gwent.
Yes. Riddle Boy says Sylv is an amazing streamer. 100% agree. J-Main, Iceman, you are so true about that. I 100% agree with you. Thank you. Rebecca has another question, I believe, for the both of us. Do you think Twitch will continue to be the strong... Let me start over. Do you think Twitch will continue to be the top streaming platform in the future? That That is a great question.
Mm-hmm. I would say yes. I think the reason I would say yes is, you know, I think there are a lot of things that Twitch can improve on, but I think the uphill climb that streaming platforms like Facebook and YouTube have is that YouTube has kind of been notorious for, you know, their bread and butter is off of video on demand as opposed to streaming, so to speak. So I feel like that's, you know, and whether they can shift that mindset or not, I feel like that's just what a lot of people think of when they first think of YouTube. It certainly makes, you know, streaming your content and turning it into VODs a lot easier because you can just stream in the same place that you're gonna, you know, have everything stored.
Right.
The thing that I feel like that Facebook is going to struggle with is the fact that you actually have to have a Facebook account, and I don't know that the target audiences for streaming, and I kind of say that generically, like I'm not saying that there's only one target audience for streaming, because obviously, I mean, shoot, I'm in my 30s and watch Twitch on a regular basis, so
right,
you know, it's not like it's just teenagers or, you know, whatever that they're trying to target, but I feel like not a lot of people have Facebook accounts anymore. If you do, it's mostly to keep up like with your family and stuff.
Right.
So Twitch kind of gives you that opportunity to, you know, be account free if you want to.
Right.
You know, you could pull up a Twitch stream without having to log in at all and just sit there and watch it if you want to.
Right.
So obviously it depends on your interaction level, but yeah, I've heard of a lot of people that have come from other platforms to Twitch and have loved it. So yeah, I mean, I think as long as they, you know, can continue to put this focus on the streamers, and protect them, and you know, there's a lot of things that need to be updated. But yeah, I think they'll continue to be a leader for sure. Oh, thanks, Oku.
I pretty much echo Phoenix's state what Phoenix just said. So, but I'm in agreement with Phoenix. Twitch will probably be still the top streaming platform in the future. Like I said, if another streaming platform, you know, does the things that Twitch does, but like even better, then I think that'll give Twitch some competition. But right now, for the foreseeable future, I don't see that happening. So, but yeah, I'm pretty much echoing what Phoenix just said. So I pretty much agree with what he just said 100%. Mint says, I totally agree with you. Like these days, streamers will only respect those who donate and give them attention. They will ignore those who don't give them any donation, which is very selfish. Man, that is sadly a true statement, and there's a lot of things I could say about that, but I don't want. But because of time, I don't want to get into that. Megan, oops, typo. All good. Silverette is an amazing person. He's an amazing streamer and great friend. Agreed, Riddle. Agreed. Is it National Anime Day today? So it was. Anime Day was yesterday. I just forgot to update my bot. That's really cool. Who do we bet on the tourneys on the inside, man? We can't answer that one, Rotoborn, unfortunately.
Yeah, we don't want any controversy started this early in the inception of the tournament. We gotta grow it a little.
J-Man says, thanks for gracefully answering the question.
Oh,
Rebecca says, Gwent is awesome. I'm with you 100%. I still need to play The Witcher 3. I have not played that, and I've owned the game for 3 years, and I have not touched it. Don't ask me why.
Well, for one thing, it is a huge game, so it will be a time sink for sure. I'm kind of bummed because they were actually supposed to be releasing a next-gen upgrade for it, but I think that got put on hold indefinitely is what I read just a couple of days ago, which kind of stinks, but it still looks great even for how old it is. So yeah, I would recommend it if you get time.
Thank you for the water redeem, Hoku. Also, Hoku, hello to you. Let's get around for Miss Hoku. Happy Easter to you. Phoenix's hydration too, agreed. Great is awesome. I'm with you 100%. Triboy says that was a lovely answer. All right. This will probably be the last question of the stream. Rebecca asks, what do you feel like is the best way to grow your channel with the streaming world being so oversaturated? That is an excellent question.
Yeah. For me, the first thing I always tell people is, go get plugged in other communities. Don't do it for the sake of getting more people to come watch your stream. But if you really put an investment into the people in other communities, if you really become a true member of that community, people are just going to naturally gravitate towards you, because if you're as kind and as good of a friend to them and a good community member in those other channels, then they have no reason to think that you won't be the same on yours. So that would be my first thing. As far as content goes, I would say, as much as you can, stick to things that really make you happy to stream. You don't want to be streaming things that you feel anxious or and there will be for me personally, there's always anxiety before I start a stream, because in the back of my mind I'm thinking, I want to bring the best experience I can to Twitch. I'm always like, what if people get bored? What if people don't want to be there, don't like the game I'm playing, whatever. But if you are happy and content playing what it is you're playing, then being able to interact with people while you do that anyway is just a huge bonus. So those would be my two biggest suggestions for growing.
Very good points, Phoenix. Definitely agree with both of those. If I could give my own insight, I would say, as far as I pretty much will mirror what Phoenix said about play the games that stream the games that you enjoy playing, and don't stream the games that everybody is playing, because that's what everybody is doing. Because if you do, number one, you're not going to be enjoying the game, and people are going to see that. Number two, it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be kind of hard for you to get a following, if everybody and the mother is playing the game. So definitely, if you just play the games that you enjoy playing yourself, and also network with people that have similar interest in those games and everything, and over time it'll grow. And like Phoenix said, and I think J-Man just said in the chat, networking. A lot of the people that I've met, I mean, I would not have met if I hadn't networked, or if I hadn't joined like their discords or something, kind of chatted with them, getting to know them. And that's another thing, as far as growing a community. Now, as far as content, going with content creating, the only advice I would say is, the only advice I would give, make I would say, it's okay. It is okay to stick with some trends, but kind of tweak it a bit to make it, to kind of sort of make it your own. So there are some people, there are people that do subathons, if they get a certain amount of subs, they'll do like a pie in the face or something, or they'll do like a cosplayer or something. Maybe for the cosplay aspect, do like a cosplay that maybe just like a cosplay that nobody really has done, that's rare or something, kind of like something like that. Make little tweaks to you, maybe little tweaks, your own little tweaks to it, put your own little style to it. But that would be the advice that I would give. And don't forget to promote it. Yeah. Oh yes. Kimmy makes a good point. Don't forget to promote. Don't forget to market yourself. I think a lot of streamers stand up from the rest because they market themselves. And when I say market, I don't mean just throw a link. Just be, hey, I'm live. Come watch me. That doesn't tell the streamer. That doesn't tell a potential viewer of like what makes your stream unique. Tell them like come like make a witty title or something, or put something in your like social media that makes you stand out, or just do like I did before I went live on like maybe on Instagram, an Instagram story or Twitter. Take a picture of yourself like with with like a theme of maybe what the game you're gonna play and everything, and just be like, hey, I'm live. I'm gonna be talking with so person, or hey, I'm live. I'm live playing so game, or kind of sort of like play a game with your viewers, and like, okay, take a picture. Okay, guess what game I'm gonna be streaming today? Something like that. Something that catches the eye of a potential viewer. That sorry, there's a lot of yelling going on outside my studio there. But yeah, guys. Rebecca says thank you for taking my questions. Of course. Ice, will you do a pie in the face stream? I can say it's a possibility. It's a possibility, man. So, well, alrighty, guys. That is going to do it for this episode of Chillin' Out. Again, mad love to Sir Phoenix for being here, and
man, thanks for having me today.
Yes.
I appreciate it. It was great.
And thank you to Namba once again for that gift sub to Mr. Phoenix on my channel, and thank you all to everybody who tuned in. And Mr. Phoenix, since you are my guest, you get to decide who we raid out to today. So,
oh man,
if you got someone we can raid out to, let us know and let me know in the chat.
All right, let's see who we can find here.
And while he does that, like raiders, or the person we raid to, copy the message I just posted, so we can go show that person some love. Thank you so much, Iceman, for hosting. I had an amazing time asking questions to you and to the amazing Phoenix. It was so much fun. And please come back anytime, Phoenix.
Oh, man. That was very kind of you.
Very kind, Jamie.
All right. So here is the channel I'm going to suggest today. She's super sweet. Let me make sure I spelled her name right.
And also, thank you, Kimmy, my awesome mod for the raid. Alrighty, so by way of Mr. Phoenix, we are going to rate. Oh, what just happened here? Oh, looks like well.
Oh, my thing died.
Yeah.
Here, hang on. Let me reset it here real quick.
Useless. Right. What's good, man? Are you late? Yeah, you are, man. We are about to end the stream and go raid out, but you can come join us for the raid. But I hope you're having a good Easter Sunday. Useless can. So we are going to raid Serena Kober. Is that how you pronounce her name?
I think it's Kuber.
Kuber.
But
okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go send the cold front over to Serena Kuber by way of Mr. Phoenix here. Oh, since the name is not... Did I spell the name? I did not spell the name right. It's a SERENAKOEBER, right?
Yes. Should be.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. We got it. Alrighty, guys. Thank you all for this episode of Chilling Out. We will see you guys. I'll be back live tomorrow with my regular gaming stream. In the meantime, you guys, again, all have a happy Easter. For Sir Phoenix and everybody, I am Iceman Prime signing out. Y'all take care. Much love.